Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts with breaking news.
We start with that breaking news this morning. 2 people are in the hospital after this late night crash. Authorities were called to the area of 30th and McKinley just after 10 o'clock last night. Here's a better look at the scene. Omaha police tell us the victims are in critical condition. We'll have much more information as soon as we know more right here on First Alert 6. In the meantime, it's good to have you with us as we begin this Wednesday morning. I'm Erin Hartley, of course, joined by Jarrett Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Really, just not a lot to complain about with the forecast. Yeah. We've been really fortunate to have this stretch.
For as wild and disgusting as it was last week, we a lot of quiet weather and enjoyable weather to talk about this week. And I think we're all happy about it. Let's dive into the forecast here. Now, notice on the left side of your screen there's a little bit of sunlight sneaking through. This is the edge of the clouds that are dropping to the east and southeast. So we'll get these out of here this morning and we're able to warm up. 42 right now, so it's a very mild start considering that's our average high this time of year. You get that out the door with a feels like number in the mid 30s. So currently a lot of low 40s thanks in part to the clouds and the wind that we've had most of the night helping to keep the numbers up. Now, those clouds are moving out. You can see we've dropped off to 37 in Columbus, 36 in York. Timing is going to work out to where these move out, and then we should be able to start to climb pretty quickly as the sun rises. There's your northwest wind. Now, that's going to be a little more noteworthy today, 10 to 20 miles per hour. The wind gusts could get up near 30 at times here the rest of the morning. And then into the afternoon, they back off to about 20 to 25 miles per hour. So not damaging, just a little pesky. There's the edge of the clouds moving out, showers, even a few thunderstorms overnight last night. A little wind kicked out of a couple of those. But we have clear skies on the way here the rest of the day today. And notice the northwest wind. You can see the streamlines here. That's going to be fairly persistent, 10 to 20, some gusts up to 30 every once in a while. By noon, we're up into the 50s. By 2, we're at 56. By 4, we're up to 58. Pretty good day. A little cooler than the last few, but still can't complain about it in late February. 7 o'clock down into the upper 40s. The wind backs off tonight. You can see the streamlines went away here, so that means a lighter wind. And then heading into the day tomorrow, to start off anyway, we'll be down in the 30s. Pretty light breeze overall to get you going on a Thursday. So 58 today, 58 tomorrow, 62 on Friday. The way things are shaping up, a lot of sunshine and very mild air on the way here for the rest of the week. After last week, I'm glad we got a good stretch of it instead of like maybe one day in the 60s where we get to soak it up a little.
I will say this time of year is something that we welcome back. I don't know if we welcome it back though, is the wind.
Yeah.
The springtime,
constantly.
Always super windy.
Nothing gets in the way of a beautiful day more than just a wind. And that's what we have. Unfortunately, I think the next few days, you see, I put the breezy, and then the windy there for Friday. That's likely where the strongest wind's going to be. So for today, 20 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts out of the northwest. It's a northwest wind again on Thursday, but probably 20 to 25. And then Friday, there's your stronger gusts, 30 to 40 miles per hour. That'll be the day with the stronger wind. And it has been trending a little cooler. Yesterday we had mid 60s. Today we have low 60s for the high on your Friday. 62 there, 42 on Saturday, 49 on Sunday. Still this storm system to talk about middle of next week that could bring rain, changing to snow to the area, maybe an overnight thing when temperatures are cool. But we'll talk more about that in a little bit because it appears the traffic may be getting a little busy.
Indeed. And on that note, looks like Dodge Expressway is kind of a hot mess right now.
So we have a crash that's at a very unfortunate spot because you have a lot of traffic that's merging right near that 680 interchange, and that's impacting that traffic. So let's walk through how you can best handle this situation as you're approaching this. So the crash is on that ramp from Dodge eastbound to 680. You're kind of getting a view here of all of the approach to it. You've got some more emergency crews that are on the way to what we've got going on. You've got right in the foreground where I'm blocking is where the crash is. So right there. So you've got, as you're merging in, you've got lower Dodge traffic that comes in, and you've got the expressway, and those meet and then head to 680. And it's right about at that meeting spot where you have the crash. So the left lane is blocked on the ramp from the expressway. and you also have the right shoulder blocked there. And then you just have all of that traffic that's trying to handle that merging into the same spot, and that's where you're getting your delays that are coming into play. I will say, before this emergency vehicle was coming through here, we had traffic flowing really well on the far left lane here of the ramp that continues on to Dodge to go toward 90th or so. So if you are going to continue on Dodge, that looks like it's been going pretty well, but just be prepared for delays if you are approaching to go to 680 out of this. So this is what this looks like in map form. You can see how things are pretty slow all the way back toward about 120th or so, but look good once you get on to Dodge. So that's the general situation with this. We'll keep you posted on anything else that is related to that. We've had a little lingering delay there as you're trying to get to the exit to 144th from westbound I-80. We've seen that happen before on a few mornings lately as that traffic spills off of the off-ramp. But aside from that, it's looking pretty good. We just need to get that crash cleared there at the interchange there with 680 and Dodge. And hopefully that happens sooner rather than later.
Okay, we're hoping so. Jarrett, thank you. Well, in the meantime, a Southwest flight from Omaha to Chicago narrowly misses a private jet crossing the runway. This is video here of what happened. We spoke with 3 different people who were on that flight. They say everything felt fine as the plane was landing. Then they, of course, felt the sensation of going back up into the sky, but they didn't know why the pilot had to abort the landing.
I always say a prayer before I travel all the time anyway, which is good. And then, of course, said another little prayer after the accelerated, because I knew there was something not right. And then the pilot did come on and say that there was a plane on the runway. It took another 10 minutes. We had to circle back around and land. But it was pretty amazingly calm on the flight. You know, everyone just kind of looked around and just, okay, this ain't normal. But nobody panicked. Nobody panicked at all.
Well, the passengers say they're grateful they got out of that situation unscathed. Southwest released a statement shortly thereafter. The close call saying the crew followed a safety procedure and the flight landed without incident. The FAA and the NTSB are investigating. New details this morning on what led to a deadly crash. A truck ended up inside of a creek, leaving a woman upside down for about 5 hours. When police found that truck, the driver was already dead. A woman was freed from the wreck and was taken to the hospital. She is expected to recover. Police did determine the driver lost control and crashed into the Little Papillion Creek. Alcohol use and not wearing a seatbelt are believed to be factors. Jasmine Harris is officially in the race for Omaha mayor. She submitted those signatures needed to appear on the ballot. Harris previously ran back in 2021. She says she's running again to fight for people who don't currently see themselves in Omaha's future. The deadline to file for the mayoral race is this Friday. Happening today, Mayor Stothert will hold a news conference regarding an important financial tool used by the city. The mayor will be releasing the city's tax increment financing, or TIF review. The Greater Omaha Chamber will also present its TIF economic benefit analysis. This is all happening at 11 a.m. this morning. All right, back here with Maria Cade at the safety desk. And Maria, February is American Heart Month. You have some good information for us this morning about a condition that many people may have and they don't even know it.
Yeah, it's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. That's a mouthful for sure, but it does affect 1 in 500 people in the U.S. every single year. And experts say only a fraction of people with this condition are actually diagnosed, so it's often called a silent killer. Now, the symptoms for this can include shortness of breath, chest pain, dizziness, or passing out, but in many cases, again, there are no signs until a sudden cardiac arrest.
Now, the challenge becomes we have people who have no family members who have the condition, and they have no symptoms. So how do we know somebody has hypertrophic cardiomyopathy? This is a big area now of investigation.
And because of that, many experts say that genetic testing is really important because, again, you might not know if you have it. So getting that testing, you might be able to find out sooner rather than later before something bad happens. But if you do have any of those symptoms, of course, go and get medical help right away.
All right, sounds good. We're actually now a half decade away from the pandemic.
That's crazy.
That's weird when you put it like that. But you're monitoring a new strain of COVID in bats.
Yeah, originally that was considered to be where the first original strain of COVID came from, bats. But now, according to a new study published in the journal Cell, there is a new strain that's also coming from bats that they say can infect humans in a way that is pretty similar to the original strain. So we do want to let you know that the CDC says it does not consider this strain a current threat to the public health. So that is some good news. They're just saying that they have found it in bats. And right now, there are no reported infections in any humans.
Okay, Maria, thank you from the safety desk. We're back after this. All right, time now 7:14 on this Wednesday morning. Really not a lot to complain about with these temperatures, especially compared to what we dealt with the last 2 weeks. Mild, just maybe a little bit windy.
That's the only thing to worry about with these. We're going to be right up near 60 each day, probably a little shy of it. The wind is going to be a little pesky, so it'll add a little bite to the air, but still pretty good all the way through Friday. Notice it does get a little cooler by the weekend, back into the 40s. You see average high 43 this time of year. That's about where we're going to be by Saturday, and that'll feel chilly by the time we get there. There's the north edge of the clouds, the northwest edge of the clouds, moving out of the area. So we're going to get sunlight here pretty quickly as we start off the day. 42, very mild out the door. Most of us are in the 40s right now. Not a lot of variation in the metro. Some warmer 40s down in the southeast of the metro, though, with the clouds a little thicker. There's been a couple of spotty showers trying to show up there as well. Right now, winds for the most part about 10 to 20 miles per hour out of the northwest, so a little bit breezy. There go the clouds moving out of the area, taking some showers with them. Not too much of those left yet either. So for today, we'll go up into the upper 50s for an afternoon high. A pretty mild start to the day turns into a very comfortable afternoon. And then even tonight, we do cool off a little bit more down in the 30s, but still nothing all that bad for this time of year. So you got the wind today gusting near 30. Tomorrow out of the northwest up near 25. And then I think those winds could gust to about 35, maybe 40 miles per hour at times on Friday afternoon. So be mindful of that as it gets breezy the rest of the week. 10-day forecast shows 62 Friday, and there's those cooler 40s. Now, a little bit of rain possible late Sunday is probably the next chance to deal with after these morning showers to the south move out. But that would be after your weekend's pretty much done, towards 9, 10 o'clock, I would think, for Sunday with those rain chances late. If it arrives a little earlier, there could be just a little snow to contend with on those, but some wet snow that probably wouldn't amount to all that much either. So a pretty good stretch of temperatures there when the coldest number is right around average this time of year.
It's not bad. Now, when we look at the 10-day, it looks like winter's not quite done with us just yet, so don't get too excited. Looks like there could be another chance for snow.
Yeah, it could still winter plenty in the month of March, and we have the first week of March looking pretty busy with that rain chance that would linger into Monday morning, but it's the Tuesday to Wednesday round that probably has a little more to it. So let me show you what this looks like here. We talked about it yesterday, talked about it a little bit the day before as well. It's Tuesday rain that fills in, and then With the timing being overnight, Tuesday night, as colder air comes in, it's going to try to change over to snow. That would be a wet snow, and if the timing works out right, possibly a heavy snow. So first alert to that. It continues to look like Tuesday night will be the key time frame next week. And then it's gone by Wednesday morning, but there could be a layer of snow on the ground to contend with for the Wednesday morning commute. So a first alert to middle of next week being the next weather maker, trying to bring some cooler air. Notice the overnight low Tuesday night into Wednesday morning dips into the upper 20s. So people wondering, how do we get snow when it's 40s and 50s? Well, those are the highs. It will change over to snow overnight as the sun sets. That can happen pretty easily this time of year.
I think we'd just like to see two numbers, 2 digits in each of those forecasts.
That's the thing, and nothing below zero either makes a world of difference.
It does. Okay, Jarrett, do you have an update about the situation on Dodge?
So last time when we talked, you said Dodge looks like a hot mess.
Yeah.
Well, it's a messier hot mess, if that makes sense. We've got another crash involved with this. So let's walk through the whole situation. Let's start with the latest on the original crash, where we have moved that one off of that left lane that had been blocked. So this is actually looking better. That's good news that we're starting to free things up for traffic off of Lower Dodge, the expressway. That is going to help matters with that area. So here's what that's looking like. Some delays as you're trying to get to the 680 ramp there, but looking like we're starting to move in the right direction off of that one. However, if you notice off to the left there, there's some more oranges and reds, and that is because we've got another crash eastbound on the expressway, and that is right around 120th. The left 2 lanes are blocked as a result of that, and you can see the red extends all the way off to the west past 144th, and wouldn't be surprised if we continue to build that delay as a result of that crash. So it's a good morning to maybe consider an alternate route, maybe a Blondo. You could use Maple. Those are some good options if you want to avoid this mess that's going on Dodge this morning. Those are both moving along better than what we have there on the expressway. Also of note, the JFK northbound slowing as you're approaching I-80. Those delays extend back to around Harrison or so. Other roads doing pretty well, but obviously we've got plenty going on Dodge that we'll continue to track as the morning goes on.
All right, Jarrett, thank you. Well, Michael Reese, the man convicted in the death of a 4-year-old child, will spend the rest of his life behind bars. In 2022, police found the child unresponsive in an Omaha apartment complex. Officials later determined that child died from fentanyl poisoning. Authorities say Rice sold fentanyl pills to the child's mother on the same night that child died. Election commissioners across state lines are lining up to oppose LB 541. They believe the bill will take away some voters' rights. Now we're learning that Douglas County Election Commissioner Brian Cruz says the bill would eliminate online voter registration, restrict voter registration by mail, and require voters to give a reason to vote early.
There's only 3 states in the nation that currently you have to have an excuse: Alabama, Mississippi, and New Hampshire. And Mississippi has some legislation.
A hearing on that bill is set for a week from today. Well, tickets go on sale later on this week for Caitlin Clark's return to Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. Clark and the Indiana Fever are playing an exhibition game against the Brazilian national team in early May. Pre-sale tickets start tomorrow morning. General public tickets start on Friday. Well, a big payday for the NFL. We'll tell you who's all behind it when First Alert 6 streaming comes back. One NFL team is trying to stop the defending Super Bowl champs from using its signature move. Okay, so the Green Bay Packers want the league to ban the Philadelphia Eagles from using the tush push. The play involves the quarterback getting pushed from behind by his teammates. Usually, it's said to work. Now, the competition committee is expected to talk about it at next month's league meeting. What do you guys think?
A little controversy with this one. I mean,
okay,
we'll see. They've figured out how to use it and make it work every time.
That's what I mean. Of course, they always want to take it away when one team does it so well that the other ones can't do it.
And being a Bears fan, there's a lot I could say about Packers that I'll just not say right now.
All right.
Don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Well, kind of on the same topic, new numbers show that ever since T. Swift began dating Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, the singer-songwriter has brought over $1 billion in publicity and revenue to the NFL. A Market Watch report pulled data from advertising company Apex Marketing. The report says that much of the revenue comes from social media and digital news. I know people have their opinions about her and about their relationship. She has definitively given a lot more attention to the NFL, not just with people being interested in the relationship, but with her fans now actually watch the games.
Watch football.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, people forget sometimes that the NFL is a business, so if it's bringing in that much money, then they're going to keep showing her and everything.
Some of the players have even spoken out and said it's a good thing for the game.
Yep.
I mean, people watch just to see her on TV.
I guarantee the NFL doesn't hate it.
Like it, hate it, that's what it is. Okay. In the meantime, we're gonna get ready for our cut in. It's just gonna start in just a couple of minutes. In the meantime, have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
And the time is 7:26 on this Wednesday morning. It's good to have you with us. I'm Erin Hartley. A major traffic impact on Dodge to tell you about. We'll get a check-in with Gerald Lansford.
It's two different crashes that we have had in place. One of them still impacting things heavily. There is our crash. This is on the expressway eastbound right around 120th. It's blocking the left two lanes. So you're seeing all of the traffic that's making its way through that area having to shift over into the right-hand lane, and things really bottling up as a result of that, with those delays extending all the way back past 144th. The other crash has now been moved out of traffic. That was on the ramp to go to 680 from eastbound Dodge. So that is easily the area where we have the biggest issues in the early going. It is definitely slow on northbound JFK approaching I-80, but watch Dodge as a problem spot. Maybe consider using Blondo or Maple as an alternate route. Rusty.
Thank you very much, Jared. Temperatures out the door very mild. We're in the 40s right now. As the clouds, you see, we're looking off towards the north. They're moving east and out of the area. You can see a plane taking off right there. 42 degrees at the moment with a feels like temperature of 35. Not too bad for a February morning, and most of us are in the lower 40s right now. From this point, with the clouds exiting east, the showers doing the same. We get a lot of sunshine today, and it in turn is going to help warm us up. So where are we going today? How about 58 degrees for the afternoon high? Again, a little cooler than the last few days. A few clouds in the afternoon at times, but overall sunshine, winds out. But it'll be a bit breezy, maybe some gusts up over 30 miles per hour for a bit this morning. They will back off a little into the afternoon. Aaron?
Some breaking news we're following this morning. 2 people are in the hospital after a late night crash. Authorities were called to the area of 30th and McKinley just after 10 o'clock last night. Here's a better look at the scene. Omaha police tell us the victims are in critical condition. Time now 7:28. Back here in about 30 minutes with another update.
We haven't been home.
Dogs were sensing a disturbance in the atmosphere.
Must have been. I haven't gotten him a walk in the last couple of days because we haven't been home a ton. So I think he probably. Yeah, I better get him outside today.
They get nighttime zoomies?
Not a ton, just because we have the earlier with the toddler and my schedule, we kind of wind down a little earlier. But he normally we put him in his kennel just because he moves around and